Okay, y'all, sorry it took so long. With the recent storm affecting our internet and service, and then having a 2-week-old, it's been stressful over here. But here is that sporting design tutorial I've been telling you about. First, you're just gonna open your canvas and add your text here. Choose whichever sporty font or whatever you wanna use. Make sure it's in all caps, and then choose your design to be the outline. Click your cursor and freeform so we can stretch this how we want it and center your design. Then you can go ahead and rasterize this layer on this text layer. And then we're going to hit reference and then add a layer underneath. That way we can fill this in without touching our outline in case we need to make any changes later. And go ahead and reference that fill layer, add a top layer on top, and then add in white around it. Make sure to fill in the O's, E's, or A's, and anything that you have holes in this layer. Cut your clipping mask and then Gaussian blur about 4%. And then hit your lasso tool, automatic color fill. Take a reference off, make sure you're on the white layer, and then swipe or slide to the right to make that fill in like an outline. Just make sure you are on the white part and not swiping over on the blue layer. Then we're gonna add a top layer here and add in some lines. I like to use Drawing Assist. I have my canvas on a grid and use Drawing Assist to make straight lines. Of course, you can always hold it down. I just like to make sure they're completely straight on my page. I'm using the monoline brush. Makes them look seamless. And then I am going to take this and cut off the ends because I want like a square end instead of a round like the monoline brush that I have is. And then stretch it to the size that I want. I'm going to move it over to the very end. I have my snapping tool on so I can see that it's centered evenly. And then we're getting a blue line here in the middle, but I want it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to grab that, do the same thing, cut off the ends, and then we'll move it back and make sure it's centered in between those lines. And then I am going to go ahead and duplicate this instead of redoing it a couple times and add it to the other side. We're just going to flip it here, center it, and then duplicate that again. You can combine those now. So when you duplicate it, you got both of those lines and then add it to the bottom. And then center it again. And then I want to add a little paw print here. So I'm going to insert a PNG file that I got on Canva and then go ahead and add that to my canvas. And we're going to put it on the bottom here and center that. And then I am going to duplicate and make 2 smaller ones on both sides. And then I'm going to only combine the smaller ones together and then change those to blue to match. Now that I have the paw prints where I want them, I am going to erase around the little lines on here so it kind of comes together and make it look like a knockout. And then to add a little something to the top, I'm just going to add some more text in the same font saying let's go. And we're just going to make it black. We're not going to do anything fancy with the letters up top here. But again, I am going to edit the lines. So I'm going to erase around to make it all come together up there. I do want to add like an outline to the paw prints, I think, and change the color a little bit. So what I'm going to do is duplicate that layer, go to my top layer. I'm going to fill in the top paw print white, and then I'm going to do an outline in black. So I'm duplicating those paw prints. I'm going to add a Gaussian blur, about 4%, do my lasso tool automatic color fill, and then swipe over top of those paw prints a little bit. So there's a little outline right there. And then, of course, I'll have to go back in and erase some more of that line to do the same thing that we did earlier. All right, so then I'm just going to go in and clean up these lines, and that pretty much is how I did it. Let me know if you have questions, of course. I'm going to go ahead and add this to my YouTube channel as well, so you guys can reference it whenever you like. I hope this helps.